A lot of times I'm driving, there's nothing to do, and I shuffle through the radio before I unglue. There's a lot of red on ways, it's traffic, I'm screwed, and I'm wired a bit different than a regular dude. It's not a bad thing, I embrace it, it's true. The radio don't stimulate brain chemistry fluid. The Buddha found nirvana and the Four Noble Truths. Through a meditative process, right action he proved. For me, I require the use of a tool, a detector, pin, pointer, shovel, and beach scoop. I'm meant to work the dirt with my history crew, but everywhere I look, my interest taboo. Most people choose Bieber over Tippy Canoe. What does a detectorist listen to when the radio is full of bad music and news? I need an alternative for me to peruse. Beyond Sight and Sound gets fantastic reviews. A metal detecting show where my thought bubble brews. Thank you, Josh Kimmel, for inviting me to a detecting dork out with guests like yours truly.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at XTREME Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. XTREME Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. XTREME Scoop's company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. XTREMEScoops.com. That's XTREME scoops.com. Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show. Yes, the fine print is out of the way, and it's time to roll with the show. We're back and we're live once again. You know, I just can't help but think that disclaimer, that could work on multiple levels. Because I'm pretty sure you shouldn't operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of the show when Detect America is on, too. Because it will definitely cause bouts of laughter. I will guarantee that. I will guarantee that. They do. They put on a good show over there. They really do. We appreciate the reciprocation from them. And likewise, we try to give back. That's why you see tonight there is also a link for Detect America in the description of the show and in the chat as well. Because for some of you that have been following the shows for any amount of time, I mean, we do have to kind of dip back a little bit to find those. But you may remember are twofers or double shots, so to speak, where sometimes you would get back-to-back shows, basically, Beyond Sight and Sound and Detect America. And tonight, well, let's just say that the next couple of days, they're going to be some Simplex kind of days. Because obviously tonight over here on Beyond Sight and Sound, we are discussing the Simplex update, or how simple it is, basically. And tomorrow night on Detect America, Deluck will be the guest over there and you'll get to hear all about the features of the update, all the information that she has to share on the Simplex update itself, and one lucky person will walk away with a Simplex tomorrow night. Go over Detect America group, find the post for the pre-registration, get yourself registered. Cutoff is 6 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow to get yourself entered into that giveaway for the Simplex detector. So, like I said, we do want to take a moment to... I did see Frank in the chat there. Actually, if they check the show description, we're still carrying the links for the boot camp videos, too. For those who missed the electrolysis boot camps, they are in the description as well. So we do have those in there too. Also, we do have the links for our friends over at Shooters and Prospectors, Chuck Smalley, the man with the plan, the dealer of choice. The links for Extreme Scoops, DETECTEES.com, TheRingFinders. Let's see, Striker's links are in there. Bill is very, very pleased with his wireless headphones that he got for his Simplex. We may even hear a little bit about that later in. Very, very good possibility. Also, speaking of Simplexes, the Simplex Raffle still continues. $5 a ticket for your chance to win a Simplex. If you're looking to purchase your tickets, get them quick, folks. Get them quick. We've promoted the Simplex Raffle for quite some time now. It's a pen post on the Beyond Sight and Sound page, a pen post on the Shooters and Prospectors page, and the cutoff date for ticket sales, I do believe, is April 23rd. So you've got, 4 days left. It looks like Thursday. Thursday would be the cutoff date for raffle tickets for that Simplex Raffle. And at $5 a ticket, you can't beat it. You simply cannot beat it. Not at all. So just to be on the safe side, if you're going to get a ticket for the Simplex Raffle, let's just err on the side of caution and say I'd get them purchased no later than Wednesday, just to be on the safe side. So we've got somebody is going to be a lucky winner there, a very happy winner. Definitely. Also, we've got the links for Ohio Metal Detecting in the chat. Metal Detecting NYC. Hey, welcome aboard, Travis. The links for Crazy Spider Adventures on YouTube, as well as Detected Outdoors. And I think that... I think that pretty much covers all the links. So, the thumbnail that we've used for tonight's show description obviously is a photo. I'm really, my struggle is real. I'm working to do a better job with the photos. I honestly am, folks, but my hands they're not cooperating right now. It is clear enough to get the idea, though, and I am working on that. We will try to do a better job in the future. But it was quick. Tried to grab a photo of it. That is what if you are a Simplex user, when you do the update, and update to version 2.76, that is what your screen will look like after the update. Remember, if you've not updated yet, you've only got 4 hunt modes. After the update, you will have 5. So, I guess first off, let's say there are a few very, very quick and easy ways to know if you updated and if your update took successfully. One you're going to get the message on your computer that says, you'll get a ding, a Windows sound, whatever, and it will say update successful. That's probably your first indicator right there. 2, when you go to boot up your Simplex, you'll see the Simplex splash screen, so to speak, where the logo comes across the screen. Bottom left-hand corner, you will see it say version 2.76. Another good indicator that you have updated and your update is taken successfully. 3, after the boot, you will see now your main screen has changed, and now you have 5 hunt patterns instead of 4, because you've got 2 park modes. All metal mode has moved to the other side of the screen, if I remember right. But the most interesting thing to note is the fact that you do have 2 park modes now. And we will hear, I'm not going to get a whole lot into the details on, which park mode may or may not be better, because obviously these, certain machines are better suited for certain environments, just like certain patterns are better suited for certain environments. So people that have been using the update already, they may prefer one pattern over the other, whether it's parks, whether it's field, all metal mode, whatever. And that's fine. Maybe that works well for you in your area, your style of hunting, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the next person, that's what works best for them. So that's always something to keep in mind. Obviously, between the 2 park modes, one is faster, maybe not quite as deep, in theory, due to the fact that it is faster. Obviously, though, when you're running faster, you're not necessarily looking for depth, you're looking for separation. The other runs a little slower, so it only stands to reason you're going to obtain a little more depth out of it. We've got added sensitivity. They've done some changes with the ground balance. I believe they've even added the ground mineralization bar, which is a really, really a huge thing to see on a machine in this price point range. To be able to see the additional changes to the ground balance, the mineralization bar, the added setting, and to see that a manufacturer has put out an update and it did exactly what they said it was going to do, to the best of my knowledge. So far, I have not been able to find a glitch with the update where, I'm going through there and I'm like, well, wait a minute, Nokta Makro said it was going to do this, and that's not what it's doing. And we see a lot of times where manufacturers may put an update out, and next thing you know, a few months down the road, they're saying, oh, well, now we've got an update to fix the glitches with the previous update. I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to see that this time around. I think the update was it was very well thought out. It was very well done. And the additions are a very, very big plus, I believe. Obviously, I've only had the opportunity to do some preliminary testing with it so far as how the update's working, but I've been in contact with some other people both in the Midwest and on the East Coast. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. How's it going, Chuck?
Pretty good, Josh. Everybody that has gotten a machine from me, they've done their updates, except me. I haven't had time, and then I've got to go elsewhere. I run a Mac, so
right.
They're liking it. Remember, folks, it does not do it on a Mac. It has to be PC, and
yes.
in my unit's at the shop anyway. It's the demo unit over there, and they're good detectors. I'm awful hard to beat, and it's going to be fun to listen to Detect America tomorrow night and listen to what Delec has to say and what's going on there. But I can give you some heads up. If you're planning on getting one, if you haven't got one, I suggest you do it now because distribution has run out. So what's out there on the shelves is what's existing. Talking with distribution, we won't see some coming back for 3 to 5 weeks.
Oh, my.
And that's both models, both the wireless headphone unit and the one with the dongle on it for plugging in your headphones. So, yeah, they're out. And a lot of other things are drying up, too. The list of things we can get is shortening up. But Frank just told me on the site here tonight that he's getting back to work and things have been shipped. I've got things coming in from him. I appreciate Frank's effort and Ronnie's.
That's
Good
right.
guys.
I did see a post the other day. Frank was very, very thrilled to see that the parts that he needs for the ugly boxes are coming in. He's resupplied. He's starting to get production back up and going and get those units out to the distributors and dealers. So for those who were looking for one, they are starting to come available, and I'm sure that the way it sounds, you've already got some in hand again, or have them coming.
Got them coming in from Ronnie, and I also have the 12-volt chargers coming with it. I bought extras of those for anybody that wants them from the past at where we couldn't get them, and Frank is busting his butt to get them out, and I'm very tickled that we'll be able to get them because they're great. They really are. And with us being stuck doing what we're doing, of course, the weather's starting to break now here and getting nice. We're going to be able to get out, but we'll be able to keep cleaning things up. And Frank, if you have not watched his 3-part series, sit down and watch it.
Absolutely.
It's worth every second you watch it.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, like I said earlier, I do believe I still have those links in the show description. Very highly recommended to watch them. There's a lot of good information there, and they're good units. As far as I'm concerned, this is his best unit yet.
Yep. I believe you're right. The reports from the guys using them, the way they can control it much better now and understand after watching that, perfect. That was a big boon all the way through for people.
Right.
So, like I say,
and they don't even have to necessarily take anybody's word for it. Like you said, go watch the videos. The proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
They see real-time results.
I got a couple guys. Bill Ford I think it was Bill, got a real nice Indian all he wants to do, and then Frank got one. Frank he got his rod or the catalyst broke on him or something. I don't know what he did, but he had to get his reboot kit, and I had that here. And he got an old crusty Indian. He wants to even figure out what the date is, and he's going to check that out. So there's stuff coming up. They just want to do a light run on it and kind of maybe get some of that stuff off. That's a good way to do it. They're following Frank's lead, soak it in olive oil for a while, and move forward with it, and that'll clean them up better. So, it is a good thing.
And that's the beauty of this unit. I mean, you can get as aggressive or non-aggressive as you want, basically. If you just want to use it like an ultrasonic bath, you can do that.
That's right. And then, we got some good stuff coming down the pike there, and that Simplex is showing us, Nokta's showing us they've made a good unit. That's all there is to it.
Hands down, yes. I must say, so far, like I said, I've been able to work with it a little bit in a limited basis due to the situations that we're all under. But from what I've seen, Nokta Makro has hit it out of the park with that unit. A lot of times I would recommend people getting into the hobby to get themselves an AT Pro, but I think I've got to shift and tell them if they're getting into the hobby, get a Simplex. Not only is it a great price, it's a great entry level machine, but it's also an excellent machine for an advanced user too, where if anything else, it doesn't cost that much. Keep it in your truck as a backup machine if yours goes down, or if you're trying to get permission somewhere, hey, I got another machine in the vehicle. Maybe you'd like to hunt with me.
That's right. They're good units, guys. Very good units to have. And they're built pretty tough. I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
That was the first thing I noticed with it. It's built very, very ruggedly. And you can tell, pulling it out of the box, you're thinking that you're looking at a machine that's in a $250 to $300 price point range. But when you pick that machine up, you know you're not holding a toy. This is a machine that's going to perform. And I think what we're going to see, especially with this most recent update, is the Simplex is definitely showing its teeth. It's going to be a good machine.
Yes, it is. But we've got another one looming on the doorstep that everybody's kind of excited to see, too, coming up here. So that if you haven't got on Garrett's site and signed up for that presentation on May 15th, I suggest you do so, because they've got one they call the Apex. And knowing Garrett, hopefully this time they did a lot more time and homework before the release, which I think they probably did. And that ought to be interesting. So what have you and I always said? We're winning.
Absolutely. In the end, we win. And kudos to Garrett for hype. I mean, they did good, because we saw a teaser video, and that's exactly what it was, because we didn't see anything.
No, that was that was a well done preview of nothing.
Yeah,
other than bits and pieces.
Their marketing team is definitely on their game with this one, because that's one of the first times that I've seen a company come pretty darn close to selling air.
But, you know, it'll be fun to see how that rolls out when it comes out. I was told by distribution that they've partially started the plant back up. They're not in full production. There were some things that fell short for a while, but they're getting back in gear again down in Texas and going after it. So everybody, let's keep our fingers crossed that they had a lot of protests today over people not being able to get back to work all across the country, and that was something to watch. But let's hope that we can kick this thing and get moving again and roll with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I have to, once the weather's good enough and I'm able to get around, I've got a great place I can social distance, much like you said with your video today. You had a couple of buddies out, but you guys had about 30 acres apiece, so you were definitely distancing, and I've got a place where I can go where I've got about 40 acres all to myself. Nobody will bother me.
Yeah, well, we're in just the front half of the place, and it's huge. I think it's 390 acres.
Ooh.
And it's been used since mid-50s, and we've hunted it, and it's not somewhere you take someone new because of the amount of
garbage,
tabs and bottle tops. I mean, it's a drag strip, and they have hosted events that have drawn from 10 to 30,000 at a crack since 1950s. And I just would have loved to have been the beer vendor the whole time.
Right. And I know exactly what you mean. I've been on a spot too that has had a number of years with some racing, but primarily demolition derbies. And boy, I'm telling you what, you could dig trash all day long. You're emptying your pouch out multiple times. But when you hit those good targets, they are well worth it.
I mean, we all took handfuls of clad out of there. I mean, all of us that hunted today, there were 4 of us, are seasoned hunters, and you go slow and you literally, I'm sorry, but you ignore 12, 13, and 14 on an equinox, period, because there are so many beaver tails stacked up and pull tabs in there. It's a challenge. But you come up, I've found walkers in there, I've gotten Benjamins, I've gotten Washington quarters, some standing liberties, wheeze. There's been, I got one really nice ring out of there. There's been others found, but you have to go slow. You have to understand separation. I was using a 6-inch coil. You don't cover a lot of ground fast. You can't. There's just so much there. And it's a challenge, but it's locked up. I got the key to the place. I can go in. I can take a few guys, and we go out there, and it's just nice. It was a beautiful day to be out, and we didn't door knock or bother anybody. Nobody bothered us, I'll guarantee you there.
Yeah, right. And you're right. A environment like that is certainly not for the novice hunter. I mean, that is where an environment like that is definitely where your experience will shine through. Or
That's
if
right.
you're looking for good practice, you're not going to find any better spot to get your practice in than a spot like that or the iron-infested areas.
Right. And we had fun, and that was the point of the day. Just to get out. And Mike had called me and wanted to get out, and I said, let's go up Dragway. He said, I've been wanting to go back there. He said, I know it's a challenge. Let's go. And Frank and Andy came up, and Andy was up on the finish line area, and I was down around the starting line and in front of the stands and around the stands, and Mike was in the camp area, and Frank was in a camp area. For years, I mean, that place is packed them in, and there's days that you can't even move in there. They'll be with racers and fans, like I say, they'll be up in the 25, 30,000 people there. And if you can't find a clad there, then you're not doing something right. But man,
there's no helping you.
Nope. It's a lot of fun. So, and I did not have a Simplex today. Like I say, that's been at the shop all week. We've been selling them, and literally I ran out, and I was able to get a reorder in before they dried up at distribution, and I'll have a few of them on there, and that's about it.
Wow. Wow. Well, still, I mean, at least you got out and you had a good time. And there were some Indians found.
What's that?
And there were some Indians found, apparently. Or was that not today? Because I know you said Frank
That was
had
not
an Indian.
today.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Frank had one from the other day. He was working a field, and it was a trashy spot, and he dredged out an Indian, and he's got it down to the point now, but he wanted to work it some more in that, I don't know if he broke the catalyst in half or whatever happened. He needed another one and wanted some more of Frank's magic powder there. Frank and he says it's in good enough shape to do that with, and he wants to get it cleaned up because I think it was in the late 1870s, like a 78 or 9.
Nice. It'd be even better to hear he got it cleaned up and saw it was a 77.
Well, he thinks he sees a loop on the top like it's not a 7. It'd be,
yep, no
right.
7 then.
Nope. So, but that's what he wants to get freed up so he can see it.
Well, he has the right equipment at his disposal to do that.
Right. And then another thing, we will be doing that drawing. Everything has been retrieved from our center there where we have our meetings. Bob was able to get in there, and we're trying to figure out how we can do this little go live, and we'll set it up.
Nice. Good to hear. Good to hear. And for those that were, speaking of Bob, for those that were curious or anything, I know I did not contact Bob, but I even got an email the other day that I had been refunded. So for people who haven't seen that yet, just give it some time. I'm sure he's working through them in the order that it came in and trying to get everything back to the respective people.
Right. Now that's strictly on the hunt, nothing to do with this drawing. And we're still open to more ticket sales. If you want to win a Simplex or take a chance at winning one, that's still available at $5 a throw through the Iowa, Illinois Treasure Hunters.
Yeah, and you can't beat that price. Just like for this machine, you can't beat that price. Not for those features in that price point. I have not seen any other manufacturer be able to put out a machine with those features in that price point yet.
Nope. A heck of a machine. It'd be fun listening to Delect there on Detect America. She gets all wound up.
She's a fireball.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show tomorrow. That's why we kind of thought, well, we'll cover a little bit about the update on tonight's show and use that as kind of a segue into Detect America and Delect and the Simplex giveaway that they're going to do tomorrow night.
Right.
But very good point. I did forget to mention that at the beginning of the show. For you Mac users, you're going to have to find someone with a PC to get that update done.
Yes, you are. So, but we've got it at the shop, so I'll link it up at the shop and get that one done that we use as a demo.
Right.
And I see guys who've gotten their Bill, Ohio Relic Hunter, he got his back too. He said he got his. Michael said he got his $10 dinner fee. And Mike Lacquemet, he got a refund, but he bounced the check originally. So we'll see how that works, Mike. And but that's all I had to say. I'll get out of here. And anybody out there been running the Simplex with that update, call in and let us know what you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, so far I'm liking it. I think they did very, very good. It's a great machine for that price point. And like I said, I'm going to have to, for years, I have recommended, even though I'm not a very big AT Pro user, it doesn't necessarily work for me. It's a good machine to get into the hobby with, and that's what I've recommended people for years. But now, so far from what I'm seeing from the Simplex, I'm going to have to recommend that if they're coming into the hobby and they're not wanting to spend a lot of money, get themselves a Simplex. It's cheaper than the AT Pro. It'll do just as well, if not better, even. And It's got some very, very, very nice features to it for that price point.
Yes, it does. I had a gentleman over the weekend that I met up with. He's 80 years old. He's detected for quite a while, and originally he had a Garrett. And he told me, he said he'll take nothing but a Garrett, and he bought an AT Pro. And I'm not going to try and sell him anything else at that point. But and he was happy that he got his Garrett AT Pro. And the other day when he called me and told me he wanted that AT Pro, I tried to talk to him about the Simplex and the Noxes and what was going on. He said, "Nope, I had Garrett. All I want is Garrett." He said, "If you got the Garrett, I'll take it." Okay, end of story.
Yeah, and you will. You will have those people that are brand loyal.
That's right. They're brand loyal. So, and I went over there, and he had some of the finest arrowhead collections I've ever seen, and fossils and stuff he dug in the past, and he decided he wanted to get back into it. And I'm thinking, man, I hadn't met him, and I met up with him and set it all up, and he's standing there, and he just dropped a tree in his yard and we've been chainsawing it. I'm hoping at 80 years old that I can go out and run the chainsaw, cut up a tree, and haul firewood like he was.
Right? Yeah, definitely. And that reminds me too, I ran across, I honestly can't remember the person's name or where it was on Facebook, but somebody had been in the hobby, got out, wanting to get back in, and the first thing they posted is a screenshot from Amazon, unfortunately, of a Simplex asking if I thought that was a good machine. Told him, I said, yes, it is a good machine. However, I have to recommend, and I still stress that, it's probably not a good idea to buy from the big box stores or the big box online retailers, and recommended that they deal with a reputable dealer. That way they get the after the sale customer service. You're not going to get that from Amazon.
No. I ran into some Amazon buyers that have called me in the past and literally asking help on how to learn to run a 3030 and some other detectors, and it's like, yes, I can help you. And then he said, well, I've got these questions, and I said, well, where do you live? And he was about 45 miles from me. And I told him, I said, well, I put on classes, and they're X amount of dollars, and here's your class. Well, he kind of was stunned a little bit and said, why are you charging me? I said, I didn't sell you the machine. If you bought it here, I'm your follow-up. I will stay with you as long as I have to get you feeling comfortable with it.
Right. And let's face it, I mean, not only the after-the-sale customer service, but there are companies out there that they're getting very, very creative with their knockoffs.
Yes, they are.
And at least if you're dealing with a reputable dealer, you know you're getting what you're paying for.
That's right. And, you know, I've got a network of dealer friends out here all across the country, from Ronnie and Gold Diggers out in Jersey all the way up to Jerry, and then on out to the West Coast with
Joey,
AIB, and some of the others that if I don't have it, I'll send it to them. I'll send them that person to that friend of mine because, A, I may not be able to get it, or B, he's got some and we no longer have them, and that's the way it goes. So I try to keep it within our network. I mean, down in Missouri, I got friends down there at Treasure Chief and all over the country, and we send people back and forth because we know they're going to get good support, they're going to get good customer service, and that's what we expect. And nothing against some of the bigger stores, but Amazon, as far as I'm concerned, is not the way to go.
No, not. I mean, sure, it's great to, I don't know, order your batteries or clothes or whatever, but not when you're dealing with a machine and dropping an amount of money like that.
Yep.
So
but
that's the way it goes.
Thanks for all the support, and everybody out there. This has been a very busy season for many of us out there selling equipment, detecting industry, and it's been, well, Frank will tell you, tough to get parts, tough to find this, but we're still rolling with it as best as we can.
Absolutely. And we've got, looks like we've got New Jersey on the line now. How's it going, Fred?
Hey, how's it going? Chuck, how you doing? It's Fred.
Hey,
from
Fred, how are you? I saw some posts from you a while back. You look like you've been out a little bit.
Yes, awesome pin you found today, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't know how old that thing is, but it was down amongst the tree roots right next to this cellar hole I found right in my neighborhood. I mean, it's on a busy road where this middle school is right across the street, and it's this narrow band of woods. And I said, well, that's been there forever. Used to be farm fields, I know, like 50 years ago. So I detected the whole strip for about a mile and a half, and no more than 100 yards wide at the widest. And I came upon that in an old buckle I found, not colonial, but probably like a horse buckle. But, it was a nice way to spend the day, But I was using my
that was sweet.
XP
nice
day.
Find.
Yeah, I was very happy with that. I was hoping to find one decent thing today instead of there was so much garbage in there. You were talking about garbagey sites. I mean, that, and I had the big coil on there too. I had the elliptical coil on my
15.
days. Yeah, that was, it would have been better probably to have the little narrow elliptical on there because of all the garbage, but it's still, that thing works great. I like that. I like that coil a lot, that X35 coil.
Yeah, it did well for you today, that's for sure.
Yeah. Did you see that well that was right near the cellar hole?
Yeah.
It was like an open well about 12 feet deep, rock line, beautiful well. But, it's directly across the street from the middle school. You get some kid going over there,
Yeah,
so I may
good.
tell somebody about that. Maybe
Yeah.
they should fill it in or something, because some kid falls down there, you could die there.
Yeah, at least cover it over with something.
Yeah, nothing over it, nothing. I walked around. I radiated the circle out from the cellar hole, thinking that maybe I'd find an old silver coin or something, which I didn't find. But all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, look at this well, So that's one of those things you really got to be watching for when you're walking around out there in the woods.
Absolutely.
But, I heard you guys talking about that.
I got a question been popping up here. I'm going to try and address it, and they can ask Scott Treckler. They're wanting to know when the new coils are coming out. He's a nomad. He gets to talk with that whole group. And I talked to Van Boone also. I have no idea when all these new coils are coming out for the Simplex yet.
Give it time. They're coming.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're coming out with different coils for that machine.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they will be.
One of my questions. I've been seeing posts about the update, and it sounds like you need a regular PC to access that update. Yeah, yes. I have that. We have our laptop is a PC based one, but do you have an address that you go to? Is it just Nokta.com or something?
If you go to Nokta Makro's website, go to metal detectors, go to coin detectors, go to Simplex, then on the left-hand side of the screen, you will see a tab that says Software Updates.
Okay.
And you can click on that, and then that will take you to where you download the update. Now, here's the thing you got to remember, though, and we were fixing to get into this anyway, is that when you download that update, that will download in a zipped folder. So what I would recommend people to do is download it, find it in your downloads, copy it, paste it over to your desktop, and then you want to extract that folder. You want to unzip that folder. And what that'll do is that's going to give you another folder on your desktop with 3 files in it. There's going to be a larger, you'll see the file size of them, and there's going to be a large one that says like detector update setup, and then there's one that's a bin file and one that just says setup that is a considerably smaller file than the first setup file. You want to install that first setup file, then you want to install the second smaller setup file, because what that smaller setup file is doing is loading USB drivers onto your computer that your computer may not have to detect the Simplex. And then once you get those installed, you'll see that you have a icon that will show up on your desktop, and it'll look like a detector coil, and it'll say Nokta Detector Update Tool. And you'll open that.
So that stays on as a... Okay.
You'll open that, and in there then you will see tabs across the top for, say, Amphibio, Cruiser, Simplex. You'll click the Simplex tab, and then you'll go down. It will tell you to select file. and you click on that, and then you search for that folder on your desktop the opened folder that you extracted,
Right.
and you select that bin file for where it says select file. Select that bin file, then it will tell you to detect device. You have your Simplex plugged into the USB port on your computer. You tell it detect device. It'll say, detected device, detected Simplex, however it words it. And then in the very bottom right-hand corner of that window that you have open, it'll say install. And you click that, and you get your progress bar. It'll move right along. All of a sudden, you'll hear a little Windows sound, and you'll see a pop-up window come up that says updated successfully or update successful. Click OK. Unplug your Simplex. You're done. It's easy as that. Start to end, less than 10 minutes.
And the cable you're using for that is the one that you use to charge the detector?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so it has a USB fitting on the end that normally goes into the transformer, but now it's going to plug into your computer, and it goes in the same port on the Simplex that you would charge from.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Because
right.
when you do plug your Simplex into the computer, the screen on the Simplex will light up because it's thinking that it's charging, and then you'll go through
power from your computer.
Right, and then you'll go through your update process. It'll say update successful. Unplug it from your computer, and when you turn it on, you'll see in the lower left-hand corner of the Simplex screen, right after Simplex comes across the screen, you'll see it say version 2.76 instead of what was the last one, 2.68, I believe.
Yep,
and
the last one was 6.8.
Yeah. So it'll say 2.76, and then after it boots up, you'll notice right then that you've updated, because now instead of 4 hunt patterns, you'll have 5.
Yeah, right. Currently, there are none in the country that have the updates.
Right. Okay. So I looked at a video with the woman from Nokta explaining what the updates were.
Yeah.
And she said there's 2 park settings now.
Yeah, and that's the extra
Park
hunt
1 and Park 2.
Yep.
Yeah. And then they made some other changes. I'm trying to remember where. They show a mineralization symbol if you're in highly mineralized soil, I think.
Yep. Ground balance, extra sensitivity.
Right. Yeah, an extra bar in the sensitivity scale. So, I'm looking forward to doing it. I just wanted to have a better idea of how to do it, because the only time I saw a video on how to do it was looking on my phone, and it's like, trying to, you need a microscope to look at the lettering of everything. Like I didn't have it on the computer. So I had to bring it up on, but now I have another question. You were talking about your friend, the friend that always had Garrett's, and he needed a Garrett AT Pro or whatever, rather than a Simplex. Or do you think this new Garrett is going to be competing with the Simplex? It's the Apex.
I'm guessing here. I know they made mention it doesn't need batteries, so it'll be lithium-ion technology. And they said it's pretty stout and firm and all this stuff. They kind of made mention to that, but you saw nothing on that teaser they put out. And there was
the teaser was a real teaser. It just said, it's awful light, So it sounds like
that was a good teaser. That's all that is. And you got to sign up on the Garrett site to sit in on their live program on the new Apex coming up on May 15th. And
I signed up. I'm just curious, and more curious than anything, but I'm just wondering what slot they're going to try to push that thing into. I mean,
you got your A series. I see them doing away with that at 300 to 400. You got your AT Pros, so I'm thinking somewhere they're trying to fit that in or above the 400, but maybe not wiping out. The AT Pro is still the largest selling metal detector in the world today.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I bought one. I bought one of those years ago. I mean, it's a good detector. Unfortunately, I gave that one to my guy to use because I'm always using my Deus mostly. But that's a great machine, the AT Pro. I found a lot of good things with that, and
they made
easy to
mention
use.
it's really light. So yeah, it's coming out to be in this market with the Simplex and the Noxes and the ORX and that kind of stuff, lightweight. I'm hoping now. People have asked me, "You think it's waterproof?" I don't know. And I tried to squeeze KG for some info, and he wouldn't let. He kept telling me, "I don't know.
Yeah, they're staying pretty tight-lipped.
Yes, they are.
He's got a non-disclosure agreement.
Yes, he does. But I still tried to squeeze him for it.
Well, those are much my questions for you guys. I heard you talking about it. I'm looking forward to upgrading the. I've used the Simplex a couple times. I haven't used it for a whole day yet, but I might as well put download the upgrade on there. So I've always done that with my Deus. I've always upgraded it when they come out with a new upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and when you get to that point where you want to do the upgrade, if you're still feeling a little uncomfortable or leery or whatever, feel free to give me a call. I can walk you through it on the phone. We'll get you upgraded.
Josh is my go-to because I have not done it yet.
Yeah. Well, he's got the answers. He's done it, and he's good with computers and everything, so he can talk you through it. But I appreciate that, and I'll let you guys go. I can't really stay tuned into the show. I have to spend some time with Sue because I was metal detecting all day, believe it or not. I got a little payback. Yeah, you got to. You got to pay him back for letting you do what you want to do all day. So,
well,
he was driving today for the first time. So,
very good.
She got her knee surgery.
Very good.
Yeah,
we're still wishing her all the best.
No, everything's going well.
Yeah. She had a double knee surgery. She had both of them done. So she's doing really well. She goes to physical therapy, and now she's driving. So she's back on a road to normalcy. But for the last month, with everybody being, sequestered in their houses, I've been, helping her out for a little more than a month with her recovery. So it was fine for me. So
good man.
But I hope you guys stay safe, and let's hopefully get back to normalcy again. I'm sorry to hear that your show got canceled, Chuck. I was looking forward to coming out there. I was going to wrangle some way to get out there, but
it's canceled. It's postponed a year. Our great state of confusion, the state of Illinois, they aren't really. They're saying they may start opening things up after Memorial Day. So that was tight to say we can, we can't. The park over there in Galesburg's only allowing a group of no more than 10. You have to stay distanced, that kind of stuff. They aren't even let people drive through the park and drive around like, you get an older couple, they want to drive through the park, see the park. Well, they're not even allowing that, but you can go to the park and walk around, and it's like, that's kind of strange.
Well, here in New Jersey, you can't even go to the parks. They got them all closed. So everybody's up in arms about that. There's more and more of these towns and cities are protesting, because people are getting to the end of their rope with, being sequestered away in their houses. They want to, now with the good weather coming, they don't want to be in there.
Exactly. The cabin fever is really driving them nuts.
One thing was cold and snowing and raining and that kind of stuff, but now we've got, today was gorgeous, mid-60s, and we've got a string of them coming through this week, and I am going to get out a little bit and try to get people everything they want first, but try and get out a little bit on some local stuff, on drive-tos I can do with one guy at a time, and we'll see if we get out and find something good, and it is what it is, and keep the station running. We got teams working the station house down there.
You guys must be busy with different things, right? Do you run an ambulance corps out of your fire department?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we run ambulance. It's barned. It's barned in the next town up. We run a paramedic rig there, and we run EMT service along with that out of the station.
Well, stay safe with all that stuff. You guys get called out, and you're at the point of the spear when it comes to exposure to that stuff. So,
well, we've been out on a couple calls. We've been bundled up in that. They hadn't been tested for COVID and things like that. Unfortunately, none of them tested positive, so that means we weren't exposed, because if we get more than, if we get one exposed, they come back to the station, and there's a bunch of us there, we're all exposed. So we're trying to maintain a very minimal level of staffing going on calls like that.
Yeah, absolutely, because something like
careful,
that will cripple the operation.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, I'll get off now, but I just want to wish everybody to be safe and healthy through this whole thing. I mean, hopefully it's on the downside now. But the sooner we return to normalcy, the better for everybody, mentally and physically. So let's hope this whole thing starts to, go downhill as far as that virus goes. But it was great talking to you guys, and thanks for the information. And I'll check in with you again soon. All right?
Not a problem.
Go dig something else. Good night. We like seeing that, buddy.
That's right. That was a nice pen.
Well, I'm always I was surprised to see that come out, because I had one other thing that came out of the hole, something like half of a pliers or something, and then I went down there with my pinpointer and I ran my detector over. I'm like, there's still something there, so I started digging around in there, and that pin popped out. I was like, wow, I was very happy to see that.
Yeah, so, very good job.
You always got to double check your holes, that's for sure.
That's right.
And stay away from those open wells.
Yes,
they're bad for your health.
That's right.
Okay, it was great talking to you guys, and have a good night.
All right.
Take care, Fred.
Thanks for the call, Fred.
Bye now.
Yeah. Hey, we got to give a shout out to Ed Olson. He scored. He had an 1891 seated. I saw pictures of that a little while ago, and it looks like it's a pretty sweet coin. Did you see that, Josh?
Nice. I do believe I did.
Yeah.
So some people are getting out and finding the goodies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely good to see.
Yeah. So some people were getting good stuff. Hey, John White yesterday got a nice ring, but unfortunately it looks like the stone is a paste or a glass, but the it looks like an old Art Deco style.
It did look nice, though. That was a nice barber coin he had next to it, too, if I remember right.
What was that, 06? That was nice.
Yeah, I can't remember the date.
That day was to beat one guy with him, and I think he did. I think he smoked him.
Yeah, I would have to say so, but, Crazy Spider's pretty good with that Knox.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Either that or very lucky. I don't know which, but we'll go with good. A little bit of luck always helps, too, though.
Oh, you got to get over the top of it. So if you turn right and miss it, well, there's a little luck if you turn left and got it. That
is true. Yeah. Maybe the luck just wasn't with the gentleman that was hunting with him that day.
So, anyway, that's about it for me. Everybody have a great couple days. I got things I got to get going and this week, and we got to get more out the door and keep everybody happy. And
there you go.
Thanks for everything, Josh, and everybody have a great week. Stay safe and go dig something. And Barb, you got to get out and get over the top of it and dig it.
Right, get out there and get an Indian.
Yep. Frank, you take care. Everybody have a great night.
All right.
You too, Bubba.
Thanks for your call, Chuck.
You bet, bud. Bye.
So yeah, you do need there is no Mac support for the Simplex update, but it's simple. I did put a link in the description and in the chat from Nokta Makro of the update. I'm sure you can find the link in the video to go directly to the update if you would like. Or do some searching. I know the Hunter GT on YouTube had put out an update video previously that he explains it very, very well as far as bring the zipped folder to your desktop, extract it from there so you know exactly where it is, all of that, and how to go through the install process. But it's Very, very easy to do. Once you extract it onto your desktop, install the larger setup file, install the smaller setup file, open the update tool, go to Simplex. When you click on select file, get that bin file from the extracted folder, and then tell it to detect device. Click that button, and then click begin install. And really, I mean, we're not talking rocket science here. Start to finish in less than 10 minutes. You see the thumbnail image in the show. You will have 5 hunt modes across the top of the screen after the update. You will see as it boots up that it's 2.76. I believe that's what I said. 2.76 will be the version that it says across the lower left of the screen when you boot it up. And like I told Fred, it's not difficult to do, but if you are, I don't know, a little technologically challenged or a little leery of doing it, feel free to reach out to me. We can help get you through it. I'm sure Frank would probably even be willing to as well. He's all the time getting questions about different things himself. I spoke with Frank earlier today, actually, and he's been very impressed what little bit of limited time he's been able to put onto the Simplex with the new update as well. So it's going to be good to see what people are doing with the Simplex with the update. It's not hard to do, and I'm sure that you will hear much, much more about it tomorrow from Deluc on Detect America at 8 p.m. tomorrow night over on their group. Plus, if you're interested in trying to get into the Simplex drawing that they will do tomorrow night, they do have a post up where people can register for that drawing, but that registration will close around 6 p.m., if I remember right. Let's see here. All right. I think we've gotten everything covered then. Hopefully we have explained the update as far as the install in a clear enough fashion that people do realize it really is simple, or simplex for that matter. So far, I can't find a bad thing to say about that machine. It is an excellent machine. Nokta Makro has definitely hit it out of the park. And I can remember last year when I was hearing about Nokta Makro was going to be releasing this machine, I was even saying it then, if it performed anything like they were making it out to, a machine in that price point with those features, no other manufacturer has been able to touch. So I really did believe that they had a hit on their hands at that point. So far, that seems to be what we're seeing. And as I get out a little more with the update and see how things are going with it, I would have to say that that's exactly what's going on. I mean, so far, I'm not seeing any issues at all with it. It's going to make for a very, very good machine. Very good machine. You can't touch one at that price point with those features. And that's something, don't let the price point fool you. Don't think, oh, well, I'm only paying $250 to $300 for a machine. Really, what is it going to do? I've played around in the backyard a little bit on some targets, and it seems to have absolutely no issue picking up targets, 9, 10 inches, and deeper. So you're not throwing your money away. You're not purchasing a child's detector. You're not getting a toy. And you'll know that. You'll see that for yourself. When you pick it up out of the box, you can tell you are holding a quality product. Very ruggedly built. Yes, it has an entry-level price, but it has features in there that will work for the advanced user as well. It's got basically limitless adjustment as far as shaft length, so you can use it for a small kid, you can use it for a full-grown adult, and for what that thing collapses down to. It almost collapses down as small as a dais. It's nothing. It doesn't take up much space at all in the vehicle to keep in your vehicle as a backup machine, a loaner machine. Like I said earlier, if you go and you're trying to get permission for somewhere, not now during the situation that we're in, but if you go to try to get permission somewhere, maybe you can tell them, hey, I got another machine in the vehicle. Maybe you'd like to swing with me. You know, maybe you'd like to hunt. I'll grab it, turn it on. You can't beat it. Rechargeable, updatable, very good performing. And in that price point, to be waterproof as well? Come on. I understand that there are some people out there that are extremely brand loyal, and that's fine. That's great. If that's what works for you, that is absolutely wonderful. And don't get me wrong, when I was mentioning the AT Pro, it is a good machine. It's a very good machine. I'm just not a big fan of the display on that machine. And that's obviously for my personal reasons, my personal preference. That's not to say that it is a bad machine. It's still a very good machine. And I like Garrett machines. I've used some of them myself over the years. They're good machines. But, I think I'm going to have to start recommending to people that if they're getting into the hobby and they're looking for a good unit to start out with, go with the Simplex. Nokta Makro really hit it out of the park this time. So kudos to them. Like I said, I'm sure that Frank is always happy to help answer questions. If somebody's got questions about the Simplex, as far as the update or anything like that, I know he's got his unit updated as well. And we're just, we're looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow night's show over on Detect America. 8 p.m. Definitely make sure, check them out. It is going to be a good show. Frank and Steve put on a very good show over there. A lot of good laughs. Definitely a lot of good laughs. You will get that, I will guarantee you. Along with some great information that Dilek will have to share, and I'm sure that Frank will be speaking about some of his experiences with the update as well. So looking forward to what they have to share there tomorrow night. And for those of you that are interested in the Simplex, I gotta say, I would tune in and see what they have to say. In the end, it's like with all the other technology that we're seeing, we win. So whether you're getting the information here through what I have had to share, or Chuck, or whoever in the chat, whether you're getting it from Detect America or from the Nokta Makro website, wherever the information is coming from, we all win. That's the important part. So, until the next time, I think we're going to get on out of here. But for everyone else, definitely, we wish everyone an absolutely wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay healthy. If you can get out there and hunt, get out there and make those finds, post up those pictures. You know how we love to see them. If you've got finds to clean, we love to see those photos too. Post up the photos of you using your ugly box, cleaning up those items. We know Bill Hayes has been posting up some of his. Really, really glad to see him win that. We know he's enjoying it, and also very, very thankful to Frank over at Detect America for that giveaway. Very, very good unit. Chuck's got more on the way if you're ordering from him. Ronnie's got them too on the way if you're ordering from him. Doesn't matter where you're getting them, get yourself one. Best unit I've seen yet from Frank and Detect America. We're going to roll on out of here, folks. Have a wonderful evening. We're out of here.